What's up, guys? I'm Nick, and this is Build Dad Build, a place where we firmly believe if you're about to rock. Alright guys, in this episode, we're going to be building a workbench. Now I know you guys are saying, Nick, you just built that sweet ass workbench over there. You know the one. Woohoo! Look at that baby. I'll link to it right up here. But as the shop grows, my needs grow. And as my needs grow, I need more flat places to just lay crap. So I'm gonna build another workbench. This bench is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna have the bench and then it's gonna come up. It's gonna have a shelf above it. I wanna be able to utilize the underside of that shelf for some filming needs. Of course, I wanna use the top side of that shelf for some storage needs. And this, I made it 76.5 inches tall. I will link to the plans down below. But my concern was if that would clear the track of the garage, because I wasn't really thinking it's gonna be right here. I wanna make sure. It gives me about 10 or 12 inches above, which is perfect for my ammo boxes that I use to store just miscellaneous crap. So I am gonna just have those lined across the top of it. Probably need to pick up a couple more. And then we're gonna put a shelf underneath for some more storage as well. All right guys, when I originally designed this, it was just over-engineered way too much. It would have been kind of a monstrosity. I wanted to make the shelf above like half the width of the bench. And it just, once I got it drawn up in SketchUp, it just looked kind of ridiculous. So I simplified it in order to use less lumber. And to do that, one of the things we'll be using are these corner brackets. Made by Simpson Strong Tie. They sell a workbench kit, which actually got me thinking about it in the first place. And that workbench kit comes with like everything you need to make just a basic workbench. But I wanted to have the shelf over the top, so I'm going to modify that design a little bit. The beauty of that is at the Home Deepers, if you buy these by themselves, I think they're $6 a pop. But if you buy 12 of them, which is what we're gonna need in this build, they're only $3.99 a pop because they give you a bulk discount. And then everything else is being made out of 2x lumber, except for the bench tops, which I'm making out of 1/2-inch ply. Don't get the nice sanded stuff. Get the exterior sanded stuff because it's a lot cheaper. It's got way better grain texture in it, which is something that I like. And I don't have any way to transport a 4x8 piece of plywood. I know a lot of you guys don't either. So I bought the 2-foot by 4-foot sections and designed this around utilizing each one of those pieces. So all we're gonna have to do is notch out the corners. One thing to note, especially when building shop furniture, consistency in the length of your cuts is much better than accuracy. Now, you don't want to be 5 or 6 inches off, but if you're a 1/2 inch off, so I want to make this 76.5 inches tall. 76.5, right? Yes, 76.5. But let's say for whatever reason, I just was off and I cut one of my supports at 76 inches. Well, as long as I have like a stop block set up and I repeat the same cut over and over and over, I will have 4 supports that are all 76 inches. Yes, I would lose a 1/2 inch overall, but everything would still be level. Does that make sense?
Tomorrow.
Hey guys, it is tomorrow for me. I know no time has changed for you, but that's why I'm wearing a different shirt. Because I'm Maker AF. So yesterday it got a little weird. Let's get weird, man. Not like that. Not like that. A storm kind of rolled in out of nowhere. I mean, I knew it was going to rain, but like a pretty bad storm came in. Power went out. All sorts of stuff got crazy. So like towards the end of my day, my filming got a little sporadic, and I don't think I actually captured me erecting this. You're welcome, internet. It's an erection. But it is up. It is level-ish. And the reason I say that is because it's sitting in my garage, which is not level. After the way I put this thing together, here's what I would do different. The first thing I would have done is I would have assembled the short sides instead of the long sides first. And now in retrospect, I don't know why I was so hot and bothered to do the top and not just put all the brackets on. What I'm going to do to assist myself with that is I have a couple of spacers, just scrap that I cut. I have a 10-inch spacer for the bottom brackets, and I have a 34-inch or John Holmes edition of a spacer for the actual bench top. The way I came up with those measurements is from the top of this to the bracket is 1.5 inches, and then we're also going to have a 1/2 inch of ply on top of that. So I want the first shelf to be at 12 inches and the bench top to actually be at 36 inches. So I just took 2 inches off that measurement and came up with John Holmes and what we'll call tiny. Basically, I'm going to take John Holmes here, Big Johnny H. I'm going to put him here, and I'm just going to mark a line. And then I'm going to move over here. I'll mark a line. I'm going to do that on the other two. And then take little Joe here and do the bottoms. Am I still on camera? I am. Okay. So basically, you just want to cut both ends of the 2x so you make sure that you have a flat reference surface. And then I just want to be butted right up against there. And bam. Bam. All right, in about another 20 minutes, I'd say a 1/2 gallon of sweat, and about 6,000 screws later, you have the perfect jungle gym for your children. It's not going anywhere. Tiny, doing double duty, baby. Way to go, Tiny. And bam! There you have it. That's honestly probably the easiest workbench I've ever built. If I need to build shelving or any more benches, I will absolutely use these because it takes the guesswork out of like getting your joints right and things like that. I barely had to square anything up or level anything because those brackets just pull everything in. They're amazing and I love them. And I will buy more of them. Amazing. So amazing. So I can't say it's the cheapest workbench I've ever built, but it sure was the quickest. What I'll do is I'll link to the workbench kit down below if you want to build that. Basically, it's just a bench with a backing on it that you can do like a pegboard or something or another. It's around 48 to 50 bucks if you order it on Amazon. If you go to Home Depot, if they have it, it's like 42. And the brackets, man, don't even waste your time on like Amazon or anything like that. Go to Home Depot because the brackets are like $8 a pop if you order them off of Amazon. Like I said before, they're they're 6-ish. They're like $5.99 or something. If you buy less than 12, if you buy 12 or more, there's a bulk discount and you get them for like $3.99, I think. But man, I tell you what, no real hiccups along the way or anything. It was, the build is really that easy. I was surprised it was that easy, to tell you the truth. I don't have any I wish I would have's or anything like that. I do have this one tip though. Whenever I'm working with a new workspace and trying to figure out like the best way to like have my tools and whatnot, I don't do anything permanent to begin with. So I just put some screws in the wall and a couple up in the bench just as temporary placeholders to see if I like having like my torch equipment right there. If it doesn't flow for me, then I'll try something else. So with no hiccups along the way, the only thing I really need to do now is thank my patrons. I'll pop them up right here. We have enough new patrons that I had to write them down, which is only 3, but still. So I'd like to welcome to the fray Kevin Condon, Ray Flynn, and Jenny Talbert. And I think we had a couple more people sign up at the $3 level. Thank you guys all for your continued support, especially Stephen Mann and Nick the Greek. Oh, and one more shout out goes to Steve over at Wolf Woodworking Creations, who did kind of a take on my wine display and made a whiskey display. He sent out a couple of these for me to light on fire. So Steve, I look forward to burning your stuff for you. All right, guys, and that's it. That's all I got. So until next time, thanks for playing. Oh, did we miss a Clinkies? Clinkies.
Clinkies.
Now, thanks for playing. I gotta get to work.
It's an erection.